Mitt decided that he was going to honor heroes throughout the country and that the torch relay was going to be all about heroes. And Mitt chose me as his hero. My life was in jeopardy. And I was like as vulnerable as a person could be. And I trust Mitt. I trust him with my life.
Now, when it comes to conventions, most people aren't like the people sitting around this table, or maybe even a lot like you will watch a show like this. Most people, they're not riveted to the tube even for the full hour, let alone for the majority of what goes on for the 3 or 4 days of a convention. They tune in at 10 o'clock if you're lucky, and they'll watch a little clip here or there. They're going to go for the big time, prime time speeches. And I will tell you, and I believe I know I'm right, in fact, that is all that was watching. It is a shame for the folks that want Republicans to win, because maybe some of the best moments, including that 5-minute video montage that I put a little clip of, that put a human face on Mitt Romney, would go unseen. And beyond that, it also goes to some of the human testimonials. I'm going to do the Romney campaign a favor here and play a little bit of that now. Take a look.
You sweet baby.
Sweet baby. I could do okay when I hit the 2.
My brother and I, Matt, fought a lot.
3, not bad. 4, it got to be a little much.
Hello, Ben!
Oh my gosh. Very rambunctious.
Guys, I do not want to put the water on the mud. Oh, here I am. Telling everybody what to do.
And then with the 5th one, and Craig was my most active child. He was a handful.
Craigie! Hi! Oh, Craig, don't squirt me!
I remember my mom was always begging for us to be quiet. Just please, gotta have quiet in this house.
We could bend a lot of rules and get into a lot of trouble. We could never, ever say anything bad about my mom.
I traveled a good deal in my early career. I would call Ann and I could hear the boys in the background, and she might be a little exasperated. And I said, Ann, don't forget, what you're doing is more important than what I'm doing.
I hate to say it, but often I had more than 5 sons. I had 6 sons.
How you doing, Knuckle Snorts?
He was really playful.
You know, it's like, you know.
All right, it went on, but to me, guys, some of the best parts of it were the testimonials. You had parents get up there, had never been in front of a camera before in their life, and they talked about their 15-year-old kid who had lymphoma, I believe, who Mitt Romney helped him write a will because he wanted to be buried in his Eagle Scout uniform. And there were other stories like that. And I said, holy fill in the blank. I don't know too many people who do this, let alone don't publicize it and do that. So I said, well, I haven't heard any of this on the trail. I heard Democrats saying, if I had a candidate that I was trying to move, I wouldn't wait until the convention to let people know that this guy, wasn't just holding up the giant check to let everybody know what he wrote, but actually did some of the stuff. It didn't get out there. And instead, what did get out there was the Clint Eastwood moment. Do we have some of that, guys, here? This is Clint Eastwood and the chair, as Andrew likes to say. Listen, everybody loves Clint, okay? I love his movies here. He makes very few bad ones, and he's got some of the best lines in TV movie history. That said, I don't think he had a great night last night, but you take a look and be your own judge.
What do you want me to tell Romney? I can't tell him to do that. Can't do that to himself. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
It got worse. Now, guys, we'll go around the table. To me, you got to know if you're planning an event, it's scripted, it's to the minute. You only have 1 hour in prime time. And on the biggest night that you got to sell your guy, Rubio did terrific. But everyone was talking about Clint Eastwood here, and I don't want to be the bad guy, but he seemed like a doddering old guy who went off message and went blue, and even did the throat gesture here that people were talking about today. Who thought this was a good idea?
You're the 20th person I've heard today use the phrase doddering in terms of Clint Eastwood. But and Dominic and I, when I were talking during the break,
I wouldn't say it to his face, but yeah.
I bet you wouldn't. Dominic and I were talking during the break about we're agreeing way too much. I'm going to do everybody a favor here, and no one will agree with me on this. I thought this was great. I love this for 2 reasons. One is in an era.
You must like to watch car wrecks too. Yeah.
First, in an era where everything, every minute of this is super scripted, super artificial, nothing is real about it, it was refreshing to see someone at least do something that was unscripted, where you didn't actually know what was going to happen. Second, as
you could have mooned the audience too, Frank, and that would have been unscripted. Yeah.
And the reason it's a political winner for the Republicans, rather than that biographical video, which, if you boil Romney's story down to a nutshell, his whole biography is two people, Mitt and Ann, that were born rich and got richer. However, Clint Eastwood is going to be something that they're going to be talking about, debating about for weeks, and it gives the Republicans such a buzz. Isn't that right, President Obama?
Completely.
Yes.
Completely. One, the video was great, but they can't show the video in the hour of prime time because the networks won't approve. The networks want live speeches, so that's why it goes by the wayside. Clint Eastwood, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life for a political convention. But see, Richard, you and I agree, every second is scripted. But who's going to tell Clint Eastwood, who's doing you a favor to even appear, that you're going to control what he says?
But Andrew, you could feel the audience was like, watching that. Everyone was rooting for him. You know, when you walk in, if the audience, you have them before you even start talking, it's hard to screw it up. By the end, they're like, somebody wrap this thing.
I tweeted last night that it was a political Mel Gibson moment. That people may actually walk away from Clint Eastwood now and
oh, no way.
No, I think you will see.
No way.
He's got a movie come out, or is that movie out already?
No, it's coming out.
It's coming out.
I'll watch it. I'm not going to not watch it because of that.
You might be in the minority. I think the numbers are going to be down on that. But the room, I had one. There was a woman in front of me last night watching the speech, one of those with the elephant hats and everything, pom-poms, and she was having the time of her life when Clint Eastwood was up there. I don't think it's going to do as much harm as the gut instinct might tell us, because this is a base election, and that's the kind of stuff that moves the base and gets the base buzzing.
You learn more. You're probably one of the few guys like me who watched a lot of this. The stories before, the testimonials, I don't know many people, if at all, who have done those kind of things for others. And I never heard that before last night, and it was at 8 o'clock and no one was watching.
Right, I agree with you. It was a missed opportunity. I don't think Clint Eastwood in and of himself hurts. I mean, obviously, as Jamel Bowie pointed out, if your concern is this is the party of old white guys arguing with an Obama that doesn't exist, this isn't helpful. But no one is going to remember Clint Eastwood in a way that changes how they vote. It's just a missed opportunity, having those folks not be up there and having Clint Eastwood there instead. Now, that said, we shouldn't give Romney so much credit for not talking about how generous and charitable he is. It's his convention, it's his party. Here he is talking about it.
Those video testimonials, they were great and they were moving, but then again, I had to watch them. And honestly, it was it's a little like the muscular dystrophy telethon, where it's another. I'm not, but it's. People aren't going to watch it. I don't think they would be as effective as you may think they would have been, because people would be flipping the channels.
All I know is I was watching a train wreck in prime time there with Clint. I don't care if Frank says here. All right, I got to go to break here. When we come back, though, 1 down, 1 to go. Next week, my turn. I go down to Charlotte here for the Democratic Convention. We're already starting to hear rumblings what may or might not go down there, and if Tampa at all may have shaped some of the platform there as well. Stay with us.